Hey everyone, just so you know, Tilly to the Rescue is coming August 18th. It's gonna be pretty cool. We're launching a live event, and special thanks to Stephanie Marie for providing the movie that I'm reviewing today. So enjoy! So hey, the new Bob the Builder TV/DVD movie Mega Machines has finally come out! In the UK, and like the reboot, it was surprisingly decent. The Bob the Builder reboot was one of those things that you kind of went into thinking it's gonna be one of the worst things ever. I mean, you tried devising a more unsettling redesign, but then you ended up unironically watching every single episode released so far. Even the ones PBS is apparently too buggered to release. While it lacks a quiet but lovably absurd tone of the original, and the animation's kind of a naff in between the other two major hit entertainment/Mattel shows, it's still a pretty decent preschool show in its own right, taking a lot of the character dynamics in the original and putting it into a legitimate reboot that actually deserves to be produced in CGI, unlike some other spin-offs.
Gross!
And with ratings being pretty high for the show, now we finally got the show's first feature-length special, Mega Machines the Movie. By the way, am I the only one who's really annoyed whenever they slap this subtitle on? Do you people really need to know that it's the movie? Can you not tell by the 60-minute time length it's kinda supposed to be one? Much like the reboot itself when it was first coming out, my anticipation for the movie was both that of actual intrigue and also intense worry of what this is gonna be. I feared that it would be nothing more than a lame extended episode designed to sell the brand new toy line from Mattel. Hey kids, check out the brand new Mega Machines Megathon toy at your local Toys R Us. Hooba dooba. Y'all should actually watch Planet Productions, by the way. He does more than those Sonic Zombies videos. Not helping were the other two major hit Mattel specials that came out around the same time frame. Fireman Sam's Alien Alert, which felt a lot more cash grabby than I thought it was going to be, and The Great Race, which, while enjoyable, did kind of have that impression of, we gotta have a global ad campaign for this year. Anyone got a bright idea? Let's just do racing this year. Dress up a whole Hilton hotel for this. Luckily, like the reboot, I was once again proven wrong, and this actually turned out to be a decent first little special from the crew. Even though the animation kinda made me feel like I was just watching an hour-long episode, especially compared to the Thomas specials, which nowadays usually use a different director, which gives it a bit more uniqueness, I still felt this was a genuinely decent attempt at doing a feature-length special with this crew. There's a general sense of trying to push what they could do with an hour-long time slot and a slightly bigger budget in terms of story. The concept of them converting a quarry into a reservoir and dam felt like it deserved the longer running time, and the story itself, despite some cliches and road bumps, flowed actually pretty decently. It's a bit too slow during the middle portion, but it quickly picks up for the final 20 or so minutes, in which we actually get a pretty intense and surprisingly solid climax. I never thought I'd say that about a PBS kids-oriented kids special. While on that topic, the drama in this, for again, an hour-long TV movie for preschoolers, was a bit of a surprise. Obviously, you don't get the scenes of Scoop dying in a horrible fiery blaze, but you do get to see Brian Cox as the first ever villain in the Bob the Builder franchise, threatening to basically have his machines done in if they don't obey his every command.
Hey, what are you two hunks of rust doing? Get to work before I send you back to the scrap heap. Do you know what happens to machines on the scrap heap, Ace? They get broken up and crushed.
Bob the Builder, can you fix this nightmare of you? There's a few original songs in this, and besides We Are a Team, which I guess they put in every single episode of this show because clearly the song that managed to get a huge best-selling single wasn't enough, they actually kind of felt pretty decent. Some of them were actually catchy, like the whole Best Friend song is stupidly cheesy. I love that. I'm sorry. It's a nice song, okay? Best friends. I guess really the only other thing I can discuss here is how come I'm not giving this the vicious beatdown that Hey Arnold the movie got when this also got released to theaters. Yeah, this hasn't gotten a US release yet, and it's just coming out on DVD in the UK soon, but for some reason this ended up in theaters in certain countries. Like, Warner Brothers actually released this in Germany, I'm not even kidding, holy crap. Well, besides the fact that Mega Machines was just a limited release in certain countries, and Hey Arnold the movie was something that they were pushing for wide releases, I think the big difference is execution. Even if you add in the whole direct-to-video aspect, stuff like Hey Arnold the movie or Doug's First Movie don't really hold up that well. Doug's First Movie was basically an 80-minute episode that was throwing in the whole whoa, the kid has to hide the thing cliche. Hey Arnold the movie was basically a special they didn't really have much passion for and were just doing to get out of the way to move on to the much bigger production. Mega Machines is basically just a fun first little TV special for the show, and it does kinda pay off. A genuinely bigger story, trying a few different things, throwing in some fun new characters they're probably gonna make toys out of, which they already have. It's just a cute little first special from the show. I would watch a few episodes of the reboot first to kind of dip your toe in and see if you'll actually like it, but I still think it is genuinely worth checking out. I'd give it a rental, and I eagerly await the US release. Well, that's another review done and over with. I hope the next one I do isn't going to be incredibly clickbaity and half the community is already going to review it by the time I actually— No, God, no!